So I got this next story here, and it's from CBS this morning as well. News, midterm elections 2014. Marijuana legalization expect to be a close call in Oregon. Now, Oregon, Alaska, California are up for legalization, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah, okay. Oregon, Alaska. Alright, well, I'm going to read this article for you. I already read it. Pro-pot efforts hoping for the young voting crowd is the headline. Campaign volunteers in Oregon are using the final days before Tuesday's elections, canvassing voters about Measure 91. If passed, it would legalize, regulate, and tax recreational use of marijuana for adults over 21 years of age, reports CBS News correspondent Ben Tracy. Treating marijuana use as a crime has failed, Measure 91 supporter Anthony Johnson says. Supporters have raised $7 million, and what's at stake is tax revenue. Since January, Colorado has taken in $45 million from recreational and medical marijuana sales. Yet the latest polls in Oregon suggest that it's going to be close. 40% of likely voters oppose the legalization, and 44% support it. Now, I'm sure there's a plus and minus, and even if it's plus and minus 2, it's a dead heat, so it could go either way. It's a lot closer than what it has been in years past. So with that being said, I'll move on. In Alaska, where voters have twice said no to legalization, Measure 2 is too close to call. According to the ACLU, 81% of Alaska's drug arrests are for marijuana possession, the highest in the country. Wow, 81%. My goodness. Wow. That just blows my mind. 81%. You know what? I'm gonna have to do another show on that. That is ridiculous. You know what? Alaska needs to get this passed. 81%. My goodness. You know, the people up there in Alaska don't have that much money anyways. Okay, granted, they get a check from the government for living up there. Okay, I'm sure everything is cheaper up there, but, you know, of course it's price of cost of living, you know, is probably the same like it would be here, you know, I mean, 81%. I bet you their jails are just full. I bet you their prisons are just full. Do you know how asinine that sounds? People getting locked up over a plant. You know what? Those Alaskans, I swear they have got to be the most oppressed people in the United States. I mean, draconian drug laws. Most of the villages are dry villages, which means they can't drink. They go to jail if they get caught drunk. They go to jail if they get caught smoking marijuana. But it sounds like they go to jail more for marijuana than they do for anything else. I'm gonna have to do some some investigating on that, because that's ridiculous, man. We're gonna have to definitely I'm gonna definitely do a story. All right, let me get back to this. All right, in both states, opponents worry about packaging that appeal to children. They point to Colorado, where 2 deaths are connected with edible marijuana products. Okay, let me correct them. All right, the first story of one of the stories, they said it was an edible, that he was freaking out on an edible and killed his wife while she was on the phone to 911. Well, come to find out after the autopsy that this dude was 3 times over the legal limit of drunk. But yet the headline was saying, dude eats edible, and kills wife while she's on the phone with 911. Okay, come on, man. What do you think had more of an impact of him killing his wife? Her, the edible, or the 3 times over the legal limit of drunk? Come on, man. Really? The other one, the guy jumped out of a window. Okay, but who's to say that the edible is the one that made him jump out the window? Maybe he had been planning on doing that. Maybe. Who's to say? We'll never know. So what? They're just going to say, oh, he ate an edible, so he jumped out a window? Come on, man. Really? Yeah, whatever. Yeah. People and their assumptions. Alright. It's really hard to see these edibles being anything but packaged for a younger audience, Measure 91 opponent Tom Parker said. You're talking about gummy bears, you're talking about suckers, cookies, brownies. They're also worried about the danger to neighborhoods from users extracting the most potent part of the plant with flammable liquids. And they're talking about the BHO and the wonderful world of concentrates here, okay. So, I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a moment, and they do have a right to be concerned because, there has been an uptick of people blowing themselves and their houses up from doing the extractions of butane extraction. Okay, they go online, they go to YouTube, they watch a couple videos, and they think they got it. All right, well, what people don't understand is that these videos don't tell you everything. And it's those little things that they don't tell you that get you hurt or killed. Let me tell you, a butane mistake is not an oops, it's an oh shit. You're talking running out, screaming, on fire, not a happy camper. Well, here in Colorado, they banned it. They banned home extraction. Now, there's exceptions. I think Everclear is one of the exceptions. Washes, as long as you do a wash, you're fine, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's just the blasting. So, people need to be very careful when it comes to butane and they decide to experiment with it. If you're going to do that, I would seriously suggest you go online and before you watch the YouTube videos, you Google in Chemistry 101. And then you search butane. And then you take their little class on that. Because it's always better to be safe than sorry. And I would learn what ignites butane. I would learn what butane vapors do. Do they float up like other vapors? Or do they flow out like dry ice and get in every crevice and crack and find an ignition source? Whether it be a pilot light, cell phone, lighter, whatever the case may be. But I would learn these things. That's what I would do. Because personally, I've been in an explosion. I've been at ground zero, where I should not be alive, really. So, you don't want to experience it. I can promise you that, man. I mean, trust me. I would take my advice on that. You don't want to find out what an explosion feels like. Now, just for you people that are wondering, and just to make things clear, no, I have not been in a butane explosion. I was in a water tank heater explosion, where I had to go relight the pilot light, and went through all the proper shut down for 15 minutes, let the gas, to relight the pilot light. So after the 15 minutes, I turn it to the pilot light position. I get ready to go. I had this long fireplace match that I was using, and I mean, the second that I started striking the match, so my hand is already in motion, striking it on the striker panel, and I mean, I'm telling you, the second I start striking, I hear the gas start going while it started gushing, and I couldn't stop my hand in time before my brain registered what the fuck was going on. And before I knew it, I was in a huge old explosion, fireball. It was so powerful it lifted a fourplex apartment building up off of its foundation and set it back down. And yeah, you don't want that to happen to you. I mean, I can laugh about it now. Trust me. Back then, I wasn't laughing about it because I was on fire. All my hair was gone. My eyebrows, my arm hair. The only thing that really saved my life at that time was I was this water heater was in a like a little tiny room, and in order for me to be able to get down to the pilot light, I had to put myself into a corner of this room and kind of snake myself around this water heater and then light it from like halfway on the other side of the water heater. Okay, but it was a pain in the butt anyways. So, but there was a door right next to this corner that I was crunched in. And there was just enough room